lovely day. Got my very serious shirt on today. We're going to talk about Defender for Cloud Apps. So I live and die in Message Center, right? I spent a lot of time there reading about what all's coming, what's changing. About a month ago, I caught a note that said that Microsoft was going to introduce the ability to automatically delete labels from content, specifically in SharePoint and OneDrive. I'm not here to talk about that. What I think was really interesting in that post was that having absolutely nothing to do with labels, SharePoint or OneDrive, was a throwaway comment in that post about Microsoft converging Defender for Cloud Apps into Purview. Not with Purview, not they're coming together, but it said the convergence of Defender for Cloud Apps into Purview. Okay, what does that have to do with anything? Strangest thing, right? Completely out of context, no other supporting documentation, no articles, no nothing. Fast forward a couple weeks, and there's another notification in Message Center that almost seems like it's trying to pick a fight with the first one. It says that Defender for Cloud Apps is going to deprecate support for a certain number of IaaS and platform detections because they no longer align with what they call the current threat protection landscape. Then they made an alignment statement that Defender for Cloud Apps is focused on identity and intra and on-premises and SaaS applications. That is a really interesting assertion because it's not really kind of not true, right? Defender for Cloud Apps doesn't have a direct one-to-one integration with intra. It has the ability to pull data from on-premises firewall logs, Defender for Endpoint, which incidentally gets its enrollment data from Intune. So I guess you could sort of circumspect way say user at intra enrolls device in Intune, enrolls device into Defender for Endpoint, ships data to Defender for Cloud Apps. But even then, I mean, you're really working a long way around that one. Then I saw another Message Center notification that talked about the Purview store. This one was specifically about onboarding support for Palo Alto Prisma Access, which is their SASE solution, their Secure Access Service Edge. There is actually a whole integration solution for Purview to consume. Right now there are only 3 out there. Three SASE products, 3 Secure Access Service Edges. One of them is Intra GSA, right? Global Secure Access Secure Service Edge. It's not actually turned on by default, but it tells me that some really fascinating things are happening. One, if Defender for Cloud Apps is becoming a Purview workload, that's going to have some serious license implications, right? Because what is Defender for Cloud Apps? Or what has it been? I got sent to a training event in September 2016. I know, because I had a bike stolen at that particular training session. At that session, they're talking about this whole emerging technology space called CASBs. The idea was you were going to be able to detect, onboard, and build policies around shadow IT, unknown SaaS applications. And Microsoft spent a lot of time building this product out, and then again, it became Defender for Cloud Apps over time. But last year, I'm at yet another conference, and I sat through some content that made me ask, what is the future of this product? Defender for Cloud Apps now has a lot of content around application governance, recognizing OAuth consents, managing that information over time. But all of that details, again, led me to go back and ask the engineers, is Defender for Cloud Apps even still a CASB? Fast forward to this idea that Purview is where we manage our data. We've lost the file management side of Defender for Cloud Apps. That's point 3. About, what, a year and a half ago? They took off the ability to go back through all your files, identify where all of your content lived that had labels on it. That's all now in Purview, right? So, between those items and the cryptic Message Center details and the fact that SASEs are now going to be part of the Microsoft store or data security score in Purview, I think it's a really interesting move because, like I've been saying in my E7 conversations, the device and app management side of things is largely just commodity space. All of that is to say, it feels like Defender for Cloud Apps has reached that phase where it has become a fully developed product. I would not expect to see additional controls added to it. In fact, I would expect to see it become fully part of Purview. Anyway, stay tuned. Fascinating space to be in.